What is up, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood web word fanatic, and today I got a really fun video for you guys. So everyone always has a favorite hero in Marvel Champions, and mine is of course Peter Parker Spider-Man. But what I want to know is what is your favorite card in Marvel Champions? So currently my favorite card is this 5 cost Spider-Man Peter Parker Justice Ally. But let's go a little bit back into whenever I first had the core set. And whenever I was first playing this game, my favorite card was this 2 cost Aggression Ally. It's Hulk Bruce Banner. He doesn't have any thwart, and he has 3 attack, which is massive, and he also has 5 hit points. As a force response, after Hulk attacks, discard a top card of your deck. If that card's printed resources has any of these things, then these different effects would trigger. So I used to love playing Hulk because he was so fun and so thematic, and it felt so rewarding whenever you get like a physical resource, so you get a positive effect dealing 2 damage to enemy, and it would suck when you get a mental resource where Hulk just leaves play, or an energy resource where he might deal damage to all of your characters. And Hulk just felt so thematic and such like a wild card, which felt true to his character, and I just never knew what Hulk was going to do. I love playing him in multiplayer too as well, just being a menace to my group, and then we'll never know what he's going to do, if he's going to hurt us or hurt the villain and help us. So yeah, I used to love Hulk whenever I first started playing the game. Then as I got more cards and increased my card pool, there was a time where I really liked Beat Cop here, and I still do like it. Beat Cop is a 3 cost support for the justice aspect. As an action, you can exhaust Beat Cop, then move 1 threat from a scheme over to the Beat Cop. As another action, you can also exhaust and discard Beat Cop, then deal 1 damage to a minion for each threat on here. So throughout the game, Beat Cop can accumulate like 10 plus threat, and you can exhaust it and discard to do 10 plus damage to a minion, which feels super duper rewarding, and that is so fun in its own right and feels so powerful. And I love this card art here, where it's just a Beat Cop, and then they can do so much damage if they accumulate all that threat over time. And then there's also a point in time where my favorite card was this 2 cost basic ally, the SPDR Penny Parker. So she's a Web Warrior ally, and you only play if you control a Web Warrior card. When defeated, add SPDR to your hand if she was defeated by taking excess consequential damage. So she comes in with 2 hit points. She can attack, take 1 consequential damage. Then next turn, after she rises back up, you can have her thwart. She would take 2 consequential damage, and that's excess because she has 1 hit point left. And then with her effect, she goes back to your hand. Then with the Web Warrior or the Web of Life and Destiny combo, you can draw a card because the Web Warrior Owl left play, and you can play SPDR back down again and keep recurring her and doing the same thing over and over again, which to me felt so fun, so powerful, and I love doing that with my Peter Parker Spider-Man deck. So yeah, there's definitely a point in time where she was my favorite card in the game. But currently, my favorite card is back to this guy, 5 cost Justice Ally, Spider-Man Peter Parker. And he is just a super duper cool ally. He has 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 4 hit points, so a very strong stat line, but he's super duper expensive. Then as a response, after you play Spider-Man from your hand, remove 3 times player threat from a side scheme. So when I first saw this card, I kind of overlooked it because you can only remove threat from a side scheme, so not the main scheme, so it's a little bit conditional. And then you're removing 3 times player threat, so I usually play solo, so only 3 threats, not a lot, but definitely if you're playing 2 players, that's 6 threat, 3 players, that's 9 threat, and then 4 players, that's 12 threat. So the more players that you're playing, the more worth it that is. And for 5 costs and 12 threat, that's definitely worth it, but for 3 threat, it's not as worth it. Well, I made a Justice Cable deck recently, and it's called I Love Spider-Man because it revolves around making this card useful and not as situational. Because Cable has these side schemes, player side schemes, so there's always a side scheme in play for Spider-Man Peter Parker to target. And then the first scenario that I played with our group, we played in multiplayer, 3 players against Spiral. And I don't know if you guys ever played Spiral before. Basically, her scenario, she has this permanent side scheme here called the Search for Spiral. And then it's a permanent side scheme, and then it comes in with 3 times player threat. So we're playing with 3 players, so there's 9 threat on here. And then Spiral is constantly trying to teleport and escape from you, and you want to corner her. And then the only way to corner her is to remove all the threat from the side scheme. And the moment that you corner her, the side scheme goes back up to 9 threat again. So it's just constantly trying to chase her down and corner her by removing all the threat from the Search for Spiral. But one really cool thing is that the Search for Spiral says 3 times player threat, and the Spider-Man Peter Parker ally also has this exact same 3 times player threat symbol right here. So every single time that I played him, it removed 9 threat from the Search for Spiral because this is a side scheme, and that felt so powerful, super fun as well, and that really made me grow to love this card. And throughout the course of the game, every single time I would play him, I could recur him back with the chance encounter and play him again. and just take off 9 threat, like right off the bat, which felt so fun. And yeah, he also works really well with a lot of player side schemes that Cable has. Well, this is a side scheme that you can include in any deck, build support, and most side schemes also have this 3 times player threat as well. Some might have more, some might have less, but this 3 times player is pretty normal. And in solo, 3 threat is not a lot to remove because you just remove 3 threat. But if you're playing 2 players, it's 6 threat, 3 players is 9 threat, 4 players is 12 threat, and you'll need help from your other like players, from the other players that are playing with you, to help you remove threat if you want to clear that off on the first turn or if you want to clear it off as soon as possible. But if you have Spider-Man Peter Parker ally, he takes off that chunk um, by himself and he scales with multiplayer. So he works perfectly with these player side schemes here, and these are side schemes that he can target. So yeah, because of that, I've really grown to love this card. And I don't know, maybe it's just because he's a 5 cost ally, so he feels epic, or maybe it's because he has a nice stat line, 2 threat, 2 attack, and 4 hit points, so he stays in play for a long time. Maybe it's just because it's Spider-Man or something, but yeah, I am loving this card. I love the card art on here as well. He looks super duper cool. This is my favorite card art of Spider-Man in the game, of all of his different variations. And I love this flavor text here. Seriously, what is it with New York? Would it kill you to invade Denver once? I think that's so funny. And yeah, I mean, this is definitely my favorite card in the game right now. And I definitely want to hear what you guys think about that. And I want to know, what is your favorite card in Marvel Champions? Definitely let me know in the comments, and I'm super interested to see. I'll see you guys in the next one.